Morning guys! So, Saturday stretch coming up. I'll just tilt this down a little bit. So we're doing a lot on the floor. But yeah, we're going to work our way down through the body, get ourselves loosened out. And just get everything sort of freed up after a good week of training. So again, as always, we're just going to start long circles. Just get them arms moving around. Back to the thin arms. Like that. Shoulder rolls. Just loosen them out through. And then forward. Relax that then. We start with the neck, just turn to the side, just get the stretch down through the side of the neck. Back to the lower side. Back to center. Go to the side, we're going to do a half circle down around the lower side, half circle down around the lower side. So we're not doing a full circle, half circle and round, half circle and round. And try and get it that you're feeling the stretch at the back and the side as you're doing this. Back to center, we're going to head up, push your chin forward, get the stretch again, coming down through. Relax that down. Do that one more time. Relax that down. Just shake them out. Just stretch down. So that's getting right up through under the neck, front of the neck, back of the neck, down to the traps and to the shoulders. From here, just cross the arms. We're just going to rotate that waist. Get through that lower back. So again, we're not moving the arms, keeping the chest forward. We're not doing this. We're twisted. Breathe. Every time we rotate, breathe. Yeah, then that pec stretch, arm out. A little torquey a bit more round. It's also getting into that pec to the bicep up through here. Do one more. And back in. We're going to move onto the waist, plant the feet, and just good big long circles. So really push to the side, to the back, to the side, to the front when you're doing this. Get that loosened out. And then same thing other side. Relax that down. Plant the feet, relax it up, stretch up through. Reach again. Reach again. We'll do one more. Same thing other side. So breathe as you reach and really get that stretch coming down through. We're going to start doing our roll downs or roll back up from here. So we're going to tuck the chin, collapse through the chest, collapse down through. We're rolling down, straight down through, and then all the way back up. Reset at the top, head in the last to come up, take a breath in to prepare, breathe out. Begin to prepare and go. Bring it back up. 3 more. Two more. Again, head bend the last come up on the way up, just so you don't get dizzy. Nice and slow. Down. And up. We'll bring it back out, bring the feet together. Hands on top of the knees. We're just going to do small circles around. Keep them heels planted as we do it. So don't let your heels lift off the floor. This one. Back the other way. That's one. Bring it up. And last one standing. Point of the toe, just circles. Opposite way. So we're just on the big toe, circling the heel, loosen through them ankles. Then we'll change, point the toe, circles. Change, taking the other way. Relax that. We'll just bring that down on your front of the mat. Just walk it down now. Hands on the mat. Drop your hips into the floor. Squeeze the glutes, roll the shoulders back, and stretch those abdominals. So we're pushing our pelvis into the floor, squeezing the glutes as we do it. We're lengthening the spine, lengthening the neck. Just sit back out of that slightly. We'll work our way back into it. Sit back out of that. Bring it down now. We'll just widen the feet, or widen the knees, sorry. And then keep your hands planted, and then set back into it. Really pull that stretch back through, so you're getting pull out of your shoulder socket as you set back. Breathe. Bring that up slightly. Bring the hand to the right end of the mat, put the other hand on top of it, and then we're going to sit back again, get the stretch coming from that left shoulder. Coming down through the left side of your lat, then you should feel a bigger pull as you sit back. Nice deep breaths. Raise that up, change sides, opposite side of the mat, grab the wrist, set back. And we'll bring them up. Relax up out of that. Walk the feet, knees in very slightly. Stay in that position. We're going to really get into that inner thigh now. So that was giving you a bit of a stretch with the inner thigh as we were sitting back. Some of you might have felt a big stretch with that. But we're going to really open out now. Turn the toes out into that frog position. Go to the point where you really feel that stretch kicking in. And from there, don't go too far. Shouldn't be fighting against you. So slightly pull out if you are. Chest nice and tall. Now we're going to sit back. Raise up out of that, pelvis forward, sit back. Raise up, sit back. Raise up, sit back. Raise up, and sit back. Walk that up. Walk the knees in. From there, we're going to go into our pigeon stretch on the floor. So we're going to bring the left foot out to 90 degrees, and then we're going to try and sit down on the leg. This can be done by putting your foot up on a chair if you can't do it on the floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this foot out and round. I'm going to grab this foot, and then I'm going to start sitting down onto the floor. People do this with this leg bent. You're not getting a stretch from the legs bent. You might get a bit of a stretch into that glute. If you're really tight, you might get a good enough stretch. The idea of this stretch is that whenever you come out round, you want to be at 90 degrees as you sit down into that stretch. So if you can't get that on the floor, you can elevate it onto a chair and then sit down into it. To there. So if you can't do it on the floor, do it on the chair. I'm going to do it on the floor because it gets me a better stretch. So I'm going to come out round, plant the foot, plant that, straighten my body up, and all I'm trying to do now is bring this leg. If I say knee, what you're going to do is you're going to try and start pushing your knee into the floor. What I want to do is get the full thigh and glute down into the floor. Breathe. Breathe in. Breathe out, go further. Breathe in. Breathe out, go further. Breathe in. Breathe out, go further. Breathe in. Breathe out. Then we'll change sides. So that wasn't too bad. Almost at the floor, not as bad, not as good as it could have been obviously, but it was nearly down to the floor through that 6 breath cycles that I was doing to bring it down into the floor. So other side, see what one side compared to the other, straighten the body up. It's important as well, don't, if you're in this position, don't have the back leg out here. Back leg should be in line to get this stretch. Breathe. Sides tighter. Breathe. Breathe. Every time I breathe in, I relax out of the stretch slightly, and then I breathe in and I go further into it. Breathe, relax out of it. Breathe, further into it. Breathe, relax out. Breathe further in. Breathe, bring it up out. Breathe further in. So there's a bit of work to do on that side for definite. Now, I'm going to bring it down onto the floor. Onto our back. So from this position, we're going to go to 90 degrees. And from that 90 degree position, we're going to tee the arms out like a cross. We're going to bend the knees, and then we're going to twist this over to the side. So just go as far as where you start to feel that stretch. So I can get to here. My shoulders lifted now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a good bit of deep breath in. I'm going to lift up slightly, and then we're going to rotate. We breathe in, relax out of the stretch, breathe out, rotate into the stretch. Breathe in, relax out of the stretch, breathe out, rotate into that stretch. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Relax that self, holding those knees in position. If you're not able to get your knees to the floor, don't worry, just hold where you find the most resistance. Up to this side, and then tee that off, tee that off, tee that off. So the side isn't as tight coming through that thoracic spine, but it is on the outside of that glute, and that's where I was feeling it in that pigeon stretch, which loosened me out in preparation for this. Breathe. So relax into it, keep it moving. And we'll bring that up. Plant the feet on the floor, foot up to the outside or to the top of the knee, and then we're just going to push that hip out. So with the pigeon stretch and that iron cross stretch, these should feel a wee bit looser now when you're doing this sort of thing. The only place you might feel it now is sort of into that hip rather than into the glute. Change sides, foot up, push down. Good deep breaths. And then relax that down. From there on the floor, keep the left leg bent. I'm straightening out my right leg. Pull my toes back towards my shins. Start lifting that leg up. Once I feel that resistance, I'm going to stop. So what I want out of this stretch is I want the hamstring to get stretched. What I'm actually getting here now is I'm getting that the calf is getting resisted, to get more resistance than my hamstring. So I'm going to relax my foot slightly, straighten my leg out, and pull in that a little bit further. And if I need, I can straighten this leg as well. So like I say, I want this as a hamstring stretch for being the primary stretch, not the calf. The calf is obviously a wee bit tight from the runs I was doing last week, so if I pull my toe back, I'm getting that calf feeling tight, and I don't want the calf taken away from the hamstring stretch. The leg needs to be locked straight for this, guys. Don't be here, because when you're here, once you bend, you're not getting the hamstring or the stretch that we're looking for out of this. So if you need, put a towel around your foot, go to where you can keep it straight, and then pull in. Bend the knee, we're going to put that down, lock the other leg straight, up, and hold. So push that heel up to the ceiling as you're pulling that in. And if you want, you can straighten this, pull it. Bend the knee, put that down. Bring it round onto your side. Bring the knee up to the chest, grab the toes. Straighten the body up, push your pelvis forward. Nice holding that stretch. And then relax that down. Again, we're doing sort of 6 deep breath cycles for each hold of these stretches. I'm just going around one side, so stay at the camera. Knee up, grab, everything in line, stretch. Good deep breaths as you do it. Relax out of that. So we've got 2 to do. We're going to do our hip flexor, and then we're going to do our calves with that stretch against the wall and the Achilles. So it's 2, 3, they do. So again, big step back, pelvis tuck forward, drop straight into that stretch. So always tuck that pelvis and go down, rather than pushing back and that leaning back that people used to do. Sit down into your stretch. Same thing, same thing. Pelvis tuck, glute squeeze, drop down into it. Bring up like that. And then we've got 2 to do. So the calf stretch, so again you're going to go against the wall, we're going to take a step back to where you get the calf, and then we're going to push against that wall. And we're keeping that back leg locked straight as we lean forward into it. So the heel's on the floor, back leg's locked straight, and we're leaning into that wall and putting pressure into that calf. So step back, lean forward and push. Body straight, back leg locked, straight, knee locked out. Change sides. One side may be tighter than the other, so you might be able to go back further on one side than the other. Bring that up. And then the last one we're going to do is an Achilles stretch. So same thing, you're not going to step back as far. We're going to bend that knee then of the back leg and we're putting the weight down because we want to stretch here and through that. It's no good if you push everything forward like a calf stretch, you're not getting that there. So you're sitting down into it. So you take a small step back and then we're sitting down into that stretch. Change sides. Sit down in. And we'll bring that up. And that's us. Should be loosened out after that. Have a good Saturday, guys. We'll see you back on Monday for the full body workout. Have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you all later.